And today's book is from Gakwandi Uwizeye Alian. This Alian, I'm saying it very Kenyanese. This is very Kenyanese. We'll be taught how to say it well. But the book today is called How to Cope with Life Challenges. Gakwandi, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Mikali.
Just say your name again because it's so beautiful.
My name is Gakwandi Uwizeye Ariane. I'm from Rwanda.
Oh, it sounds so nice.
Thank you.
It sounds so nice.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for being here today
Thank you.
sharing your book with us.
Thank you.
This is your very first published works.
Yeah, sure.
What?
Yeah, sure. This is my first book.
How did it come about?
So I will first say that there is a one quote that I love saying called that my pain pushed me to discover my purpose.
Oh.
Sometimes when we go through pain, it's quite difficult to see light in the pain.
Yeah.
Because me writing the book on how to cope with life challenge is because there is a lot of challenge that I went through in my life. The life experience. I lost my parents when I was 5 years. I don't know my mom. I don't know who is my dad. I have no memories of them. I worked in a bar when I was 13 years old. I was adopted in another family where I was abused physically and emotionally. I stopped school when I was in high school. You know, I came to Kenya looking for a house help job just for me to accomplish my dream. I went through pain, Mwikali, in a way that depression, anxiety, there are a lot of things I have gone through. But I'm that kind of person who say, giving up on life is not the solution.
Absolutely.
Challenge will always be part of life, but giving up is not the solution. So that's the reason why I came out with the book, to help people learn the safe mechanism on how to cope with life challenge. You know, during this COVID, you know, the many cases of young people who are going through mental health issue, you know. So I felt that heavy burden to help people. You know, you may go through pain, but you just have to find the light in that pain, because at the end of it, your tomorrow is better than today.
That is true.
Yeah.
So you came up with this book based on your own personal experiences.
Yeah.
And like you mentioned earlier, you came to Kenya with no complete education, looking for a house help job. But then again, that was not the end of your journey.
Yeah.
Because you did that and then it took you to another level where you were able to get your education.
Because when I was back in Rwanda, I remember before I do my high school, because it's we are in family, we are two. I have my big sister. She's the one who paid for my school fee for me to finish high school. So after finishing high school, I said, I cannot sit with you at home doing nothing. Let me look for something to do. So that's how I came to Kenya. I was like, I can even come and look for a house help job because I had a family here. But they wasn't able just to pay for my school fees in university. So when I came to Kenya, I was like focusing on looking for a house help job. And God just brought angels in my path. They are Rwandese family. They adopted me. They took me to school in Catholic University to do computer science. And after seeing how God changed my life, I said there is somebody else who I have to pick their hand and tell them, you know what, you are going through pain, but there is a hope for your future. Because if I made it, me, you can make it in your life.
Absolutely.
Because you know, Mwikari, you will not wake up in the morning you are depressed. You will not wake up in the morning you have anxiety. Those are the issues somebody go through. You don't want to talk about it. You don't have anybody who you can share with. So the book will help people, because I may tell you that if you're going, maybe you're jobless, go and look for a job. But you know, job is not the solution. But I'm teaching people even how to read the word of God, having hope in God, because me, I love God. Because me sitting here is because of God.
That is so
If it
true.
wasn't him, I wouldn't be sitting and sharing my story. Because many a times I wanted to give up on my life, but that hope of believing that one day I will make it in life. Now I can say that this is God. I will not say that I'm the one who wrote this book.
No.
Yeah, sure.
Gakwandi, you would have changed people's lives in any other way, in any other form. Ungeandika nyimbo, ama pengine you would have, done a movie. But you were driven to write a book. Why share hope of life in a book?
You know, the reason why I shared this is because last year, I remember I came here with, Joyce was here.
Omondi, yes.
And I shared my story.
Yes.
And I started that last year to teach children in children's home. So I prepared some lesson to teach children in children's home.
Yes.
So after seeing how the impact was making children's home, I started with Kawangware. I went to Nakuru, Mathare, and Kibera.
Yes.
And I could see the impact. And I say, why not put this lesson in a book so that now we can help many young people, because it can reach to Rwanda, it can reach to Uganda, it can go far, so that young people may know, yes, I may be going through this pain, but it is not the end. If this lady who is talking in this book made it in life, what about me? Especially these young people in children's home, you know the pain they are going through.
Yes.
I remember I used to share my story with them and they could tell me, I have hope. I will make it in life.
Yeah.
See you sharing your story, even me one day I will share my story. You know, that's the reason why now I put, because sometimes I come here and speak, but it's end here.
Yes.
But when you put something in the book, people will always read. And also even we use some Bible question here, you can go, you know, because sometimes you need to know, how does Bible speak about pain? You know, how can I have hope? You know, the Bible always encourages us in a way that we can have hope during the tough season that we are going through. That's the reason why I put in the book.
In the book. And it's not your typical novel to just pick up and read. It's a workbook as well.
Yeah, sure.
So you go through the different chapters that are in here, and then there's a bit at the end. What happens at the end? What are some of the questions that, what was the intention of that, of leaving a workbook segment?
Okay, like for example, like in this book, there is the part of my story.
Yes.
And also, you know, Mwikari, many people struggle with understanding their identity. Who am I? You know, there is, in this book, you'll be able to understand your identity. Why are you here? Your purpose. How can I cope with pain? You know, many people have been going through pain during this season.
That's true.
Lost their loved one. You know, you lost a job. How can I cope with pain? How can I cope with emotional pain? You know, challenge in life. And also, you know, in a African, we don't discuss about sex education. I'll put that part in there, so that now we can impact these young people, especially, you know, between the age of 12 and 18.
Yes.
That's where tough,
the
teenager, many struggles start in. So when we start now impacting that young people in that age, we are trying to reduce the cases of mental health. You know, that's the reason why of this book. Yeah, sure.
There's chapter 3, how you talk about how to deal with emotional pain. And maybe you can just take us through that, what it is that helped you to, you know, recover from the pain that you were feeling, and to be able, or anyone else is feeling, and how, you know, to be able to find it in your heart to forgive and heal, so that you're able to move on as a full, you know, person filled with, you know, their purpose in life.
Okay, I will say that, like, for example, I lost my parents when I was 5 years old. I don't know who is my mom. I don't know who is my father, just to see the picture. I was abused by my own family, emotionally and physically. Go walking in a bar, not being loved, dejected as when I was 8 years. So the first thing to do when you're going through pain is acceptance. I have to accept that I'm an orphan. I have to accept that I don't know who is my mom, and that's the pain that I will have to live with for the rest of my life. I have to accept I walked in a bar. I was abused by my family. It's a process, Mwikali. It's not something that you wake up and accept. You have to accept, because many people struggle with acceptance. If you don't accept it, you will try a way of hiding. Maybe many young people go through drugs, relationship, but the moment you face your pain, accept it. That's the point of moving forward. And also forgiveness. The bitterness will cause you not to go far. Let me tell you, I had bitterness and anger. And you know, sometimes it comes even come out as a sickness. You have had blood pressure because always thinking bad about people. You look you are not happy, your face is so. Me, before I used not to smile. I was that kind of tough person. I didn't want to smile with people. But the moment I learned forgiveness, and also forgiveness is not for the people who hurt you. It's true. For you. It's for your healing. Forgiveness. And also talk to someone. Share what you're going through. You know, nowadays many young people, they have their both parents at home. You're going through pain, but you don't want to talk about it. One day after, your family will find you are depressed because you just kept it inside you. One day it will come out as sickness, or you feel like you don't want to go on with your life. So share with someone. Talk to someone, you know. It will really help you. And also I talk about even having, that is, learn the gratitude, being grateful. I'm grateful that I have life. I don't have my both parents, but I have life. God gave me a chance to live to share my story, to inspire somebody else. Be grateful for small thing. I normally tell young people, if you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, if I'm still alive, it's because God still have a purpose for me. It is not the end until God says so. I am here for a purpose. Even though you are in pain, you are here for a purpose. Because if you are alive, if God was done with you, you wouldn't be here. But
true.
if you're still alive, even though you are broke, you still have a purpose.
So be grateful.
Yeah, grateful.
Find gratitude in even the things that we take for granted.
Yes, very true. If you even eating, I remember Mikari, I used not to eat bread since when I was small.
Why?
Because, you know, being adopted in another family, bread was something very, you know, very treasure.
Oh, okay.
But when I started living with my sister, she used to buy bread, and I used to wake up in the morning. We are broke, we don't even have money to pay house. But eating the bread in the morning, I would feel so happy. Going to bed and sleep, have peace, I will feel so happy. Because, you know, people want big things.
Yes.
And they forget the small things
the
they
small
have.
things.
Yeah.
So we need to be grateful for that.
Very true. It's a very powerful thing. I was even listening in the morning about mine, because when you tell man, I'm grateful for the gift of life, I'm grateful for the small thing that I have,
Absolutely.
it will really help you to move forward, even seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
You talked earlier about the ages of 12 to 18, which is the teenage years, and we can't ignore the fact that there's a lot of peer pressure around that time, and you cover that as well in your book.
Yeah.
And you talk about how to deal with peer pressure. So for all the people who are watching in and they're in that age bracket, how or what would be your key points in terms of how to deal with peer pressure? Because it's there. It's there. It's just for you to choose what to take, what not to take.
You know, peer pressure start with, like for example, Mikari, I see you on TV, I want to be like you, you know. But I don't know what caused you to be here. I don't know the price you paid.
No.
So many young people, you see someone, you want to be like them because they don't want to face who they are. That's why we start by discover your identity. Who are you? Me, I used to, you know, love being somebody else until on the point I had to love myself, so that I can see something good in me. You know, because the moment you start loving yourself, you will see something good in you. Because I will not be like you. I will not be like somebody else. But there is something good that God has deposited in me. There is a greatness that is in you. You cannot be beautiful like I cannot be beautiful like you, Mikali. But there is something good that God has given me. So I have to appreciate that. So when you don't know your identity, you try to be somebody you are not. And even, you know, social media nowadays, you want to post, even people don't like your picture, you are going to be depressed in just 1 minute, you see. But discover something about you that you love about yourself. Like for me, I used to hate myself. Like I literally used to hate myself. But one day, you know, for me, one thing that has kept me going is my relationship with God. You know, having that deep relationship with God, because you understand and experience the love of God. And you start to discover something good about you. Like, for example, I used to hate how I smile. To be honest. But, you know, the more you discover small thing about you, you start loving yourself. You don't compare yourself with somebody else. Peer pressure is real. Even I tell young people, even me at my age, I'm going to turn 31. But people are like, you have to get married, you have to have this. But show me the book is written that I should have this at this age.
Who is writing those rules? Show me the person.
But if I accept myself, love myself, appreciate each and every step that I'm taking, it will help me to cope with peer pressure.
I like what you're saying, Gakwandi, that if I am pressured to be like somebody else, it's because I'm not looking inward to see what goodness I have within me. Because until I see that, then that will always look better than what is here.
Yeah, sure.
But I can't see what is here if I don't go inside of me to find out what is happening in there.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
I remember I used to ask myself, can I even go speak in front of people?
Here you are.
Here you are. I mean, I'm even speaking the English. It's just God, you know. For me, everything about me, I just see God in it. And I always tell everybody who is listening, there is a greatness that is in you, and you have to discover it. Because God did not create you just to be somebody usual. You are here for a purpose.
You are extraordinary. You are extraordinary.
Thank you.
As we come to the end of this conversation, Gakwandi, you talk about relationship and sex education. Why was it important for you to have that in your book?
The reason why is that I lost my parents when I was 5 years. I don't know the love of my mom and my dad. Working in a bar, I used to meet with people. At home, nobody told me you're beautiful, you're clever, nobody. So I went in that bar, somebody told me, Kakwandi, you're beautiful. I felt like this man loves me, you know, because when we are not experienced that love in the family, that acceptance, we are looking for it in another way. So when you enter in the relationship with the wrong motivation, you will end up not in a good place. That's the reason why I talk about relationship, because I have experienced it. Because my first boyfriend, I was 17 and he was 32. And I thought this man loved me and he wanted to abuse me. But thank God, God protected me.
Yes.
The reason why I talk about sex education, at home nobody talk about it,
Yes.
you know. And many young people have the wrong information through social media. So I'm using the Bible. How does the Bible talk about sex? So that the young people may know purity is a key. If you're still young, protect yourself, protect your destiny. And also, do not exchange your destiny with just, you know, material things, because young people, we just want, you know, these things to look like this person, and you end up in a wrong place just to be somebody you're not. So don't lose your destiny.
Don't do it.
Yeah.
We have about a minute, Dakwandi, to come to the end of this conversation. Maybe quickly mention about your mentorship program.
So Hope Mentorship Program, what I do is just giving hope through my story, my life experience. Because for sure, people will be inspired by what you have gone through. I will not tell you the challenge if I don't know how I went through.
Yes.
So I basically give hope to the young people. I worked with children's home, schools and church. And also I do counseling, because I'm pursuing my master's in counseling psychology, because I really have passion to help people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How can we get this book, Dakwandi?
So this book, people can go. I'm on social media, Facebook and Instagram. They can look for Gakwandi Alian, and they'll be able to get all the information, because there is a number they can call so that we can deliver the book to them.
Great.
And also, I want to encourage, if there is a parent who is watching this and you have a young person, please buy this book for them. This is what most of the young people at the age of 12 and 18 they need.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you.
And for sharing your story with us.
Thank you so much.
We are going to take a very short commercial break. This is Full Circle with Mikali. Don't go too far. We'll be right back. Thank you so much.